Here in this opening quarter. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And a penalty flag is down here. The kick no good, but they may have sold out a bit too much for the block. Looked like they made contact with him on the follow-through. To try here for the extra point. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, Mayfield. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Alert, 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 alert.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill taking it in. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I got him.
Now Mayfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now 21-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw, Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mayfield. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. That right there, a good preview of the matchup we intend to watch closely here in this wild card game.
And it's going to go throughout the game, but let's face it, you just mentioned it, wild card. We're just starting the playoffs. If you didn't run your number 1 guy on their number 1 guy throughout the season, you do it now. The playoffs have begun, best on best.
They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And shedding through the tackle. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return, and it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
3 yards on that last run, so here is 2nd and 7. From the 28, looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Fight on these two. Fight on these two. Check back. Check back. 15.
21-0, our score after 1.
Yellow. There's no line. 51. Mike 51. I smell fear. Hey, rip lift.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively. Nothing. Odell Beckham Jr. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 72 yards, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the 1st half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And he's going to go down again. Myles Garrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a 1st half to forget. Landry now on the return. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try to put some pressure on the defense.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry!
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. They'll run it with Williams. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's got his man. That's Hardman. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Kendall Beckwith on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They give it to Williams, running right. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
Yellow. 180. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. 57.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mayfield now. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it'll bring up third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on fourth down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Jim. Hurry.
Now Chubb running right. Space to maneuver at the 40. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Mayfield to throw it. And he's got the hook up to Landry. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Now, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Mayfield with a quick fire to Landry. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On the ground, this is Williams. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Now on 2nd and 13, Mahomes. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 43. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Williams loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From the 41, Mahomes, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Browns drive about to get started. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
First down, Cleveland.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
At the Chiefs' 43-yard line.
Run.
Throwing, Mayfield. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Mayfield finding Beckham. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, though?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
Here we go. Check 26. Tight dog. Yellow. Kill.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball.
And Mahomes is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Browns drive about to get started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Mayfield. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Chris Jones in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right. You got three down. King.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. Now Mayfield lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And a 1st and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Yellow. 50. Ready?
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
The play lost a yard. It's now 3rd and goal.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And a wild card win moves them on to the divisional round.
Everyone plays all year long for the right to get into the tournament, as they like to call it. Wild card, divisional, doesn't matter to them. One moves on, one goes home.
For hardworking